I was Googling for sports programs in the area, and Bridge to Sports came up, kind of as Ashley mentioned. And I tried hand cycling for the first day. I was like, these noodle arms, nope, hand cycling's not gonna work. Tried the recumbent the next time and loved it. So I started out with cycling with Bridge to Sports.
That's great. And when I over my years, over the years that I've been in Bridge to Sports, I've met people, and I've been one of those people where like I like one or two sports and I tend to stick with those, or I know athletes and friends of mine who are the same way. But then when I was reading like some of the bios that you sent earlier this week, I noticed that both of you like to try a little bit of everything. And you have a passion for like all these different types, whether it's archery, bocce, you name it. And so I'm wondering, like, what makes you want to try these new things, with adaptive sports?
I know for me, when I first found out adaptive sports, it was only about 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't know what they were, so I just really like to try everything because I didn't know any of this existed until fairly recently. I know some of the people here have heard this story, but I was at Bridge to Sports, I think, volunteering with like a youth day or something, and I saw Michelle. We hadn't met each other yet, and I saw Michelle roll out of the warehouse on the recumbent trike, and I was like, "What's that?" Because I didn't realize that I could cycle. So I guess just more curiosity than anything, finding out these sports and knowing there is a way that I could do them.
Yeah, I'd say I'm kind of in the same boat as Lauren. I've kind of felt restricted in terms of sports, especially riding a bike, because I tried when I was younger how to ride a two-wheel bike, but that just wasn't working. My balance wasn't great. My right foot kept falling off. And I was kind of just like, well, I'm not going to be able to ride a bike. That's that. I'm going to drive soon anyway. But then I tried biking in the recumbent, and then it was just so much fun. So just, I want to, Bridge to Sports offers a variety. So why not try them out? Now I love kayaking. I tried that after cycling. And I started rock climbing and just, I don't know. I like to try new things and see if I'm going to enjoy it. I don't like everything, but I kind of want to give them all a shot because the opportunity is there.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Michelle, you spoke about opportunity and the variety of opportunities that Bridge to Sports presents. So wanted to ask both you and Lauren, what is like being a part of Bridge to Sports meant to you both, on a athletic standpoint and on a personal one as well?
Gosh, I mean, where do I even start? It just means so much to me, like being a part of Bridge to Sports and all of the relationships. And I just can't believe that, one day, like Michelle said, just Googling and finding out about kayaking, that led to volunteering with bocce and being an athlete in archery and being an athlete in cycling. And I can't believe that it's just become such a big part of my life. Like I don't even remember before I found adaptive sports, really how I filled a lot of my time. So it's just been so much fun to be a part of. And like Ashley mentioned earlier, it's one of the few things that I felt comfortable doing, like during the pandemic. Like I still had sports. So it's just always been there, even when like other things, especially most recently, kind of went away for a while. So I just can't say, there's just so many good things I could say about Bridge to Sports. So, yeah.
Yeah, similar to Lauren, I think for me, the biggest part has been the community. I know Wes has been great about getting me out there cycling and creating a group chat, and we all try to get the Lowriderz together, and it's been a fun group to socialize with, and kind of we see each other for the people that we are. We don't focus on the variety of disabilities that each of us have.
Right. And I just want to say too, like, as far as like mental health, like adaptive sports have been great for my mental health. It's, one of the things you can do that's a healthier response to any stress or, anything else that you're experiencing. You can put all that into exercise, and it's been a great outlet for me personally. And I know for a lot of other people.
Excellent. Yes, I can relate to the mental health aspect of the vitality of playing adaptive sports. I mean, we all need that that moment to ourselves where we have our own personal goals or like athletic goals that we need to accomplish in order to face whatever challenges we're facing. So yes. But I wanted to speak kind of more to that. What other lessons have playing just adaptive sports or being an athlete for adaptive sports taught you? What lessons have you learned from playing adaptive sports?
Were you gonna? I didn't mean to cut you off, Michelle.
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say you kind of touched on it just a second ago, but just with goal setting, like I would always set goals. I don't know, we always set goals at work, for example, and other parts, but I started setting personal goals, and we'll talk about the bike or the cycling that Michelle and I did, later on. But I've learned a lot about goal setting and just if I can't do something, I used to get really frustrated if I can't do things or what I was limited by. And now, like if we're on a trail and we're cycling, if I can't get over a route or whatever it is, I just like slow down and I try again, and I can usually get it. And I didn't used to be that calm before. So it's kind of showed me that I could do things that I didn't think I could do, especially physically.
Yeah, same answers as Lauren, but one thing I do want to add is that especially with mountain biking, which I never thought I would do that. Oh my gosh, like all the bumps and fear of falling off, but hey, it was fun, and I'll try it again one day. But the world isn't always accessible. We've run into issues, not only mountain biking, but road biking, where bikes can't fit through the trails. And so I know Wes has been a big advocate with that and getting in touch with the parks to kind of, say, hey, come on, this should be an easy fix. Everyone should be able to access these trails.
I agree.
We have a question in the chat, actually, kind of going back to the mental health aspect. So from Miss Ashley, has adaptive sports impacted your mental health? So
it's made it a lot better. Especially during the pandemic. Just always having that outlet. It's adaptive sports are great for that, and just all the endorphins and things that come with exercise and being active. It's been great. It's the best thing for mental health besides like general like meditation and things that I've tried.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And especially during COVID, still having a way to safely socialize was huge for me. I ended up renting the bike because I wanted a way to get out of the house. And so I rented it for about a year before I ended up loving it so much that I got a grant to have my own trike. So it played a huge impact, especially during COVID. Yeah. And I see another question, I think related to OT that Ashley put in there that I'll address. I am in school for occupational therapy. And so even on a personal level, I think I kind of use my OT brain because I wanted to be able to take my bike with me wherever I wanted, but I have a 4-door sedan. So I needed to kind of jam a tricycle in there somehow. And so in order to put my bike together, I started out having to ask people to help me put my back wheel on. But then I was like, okay, there's got to be a way that I can do this on my own. And through using a saucepan with a hole in it that I can put a bungee cord through, I can pull the spring down and fit my wheel into the bike on my own. So it's kind of like an extra set of hands. But I was trying to come up with an everyday way or using everyday tools in order to be able to do this. So
You showed me how to do that.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's a great video of it. We'll post it up again on Facebook or send it out to you guys that Michelle made. It's really cool.
Yeah. Excellent. I want to ask one other question for you both. So we've already established earlier that you have tried multiple adaptive sports, compared to the people that I know and compared to myself. So what I want to ask you is, what would your sales pitch be, or what would you say to someone who is sort of hesitant whether it's the person themselves or maybe a parent or a guardian, what would you say to that person if they were hesitant to try an adaptive sport or just try a new adaptive sport altogether? So.
I would say there really is a sport for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just recommend they try it once. I mean, you could, like we were saying earlier, you could do anything from bocce to mountain biking. There was a picture of the slideshow of me in the beginning doing sled hockey. I mean, there's so many things that you could try. So I would just say to try it. And if it's not the one for you, Michelle said this earlier, we might not like everything, but there's going to be something out there that you like. And a way to do it.
Especially through Bridge to Sports, like an organization
Right.
specialized in adaptive sports, they're there to support you. So you're going to get people that have their brains wired to figure out how to fix things in order to make it comfortable and safe for the athletes. So why not try it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Okay. I do have like one like last quick question, but I want to turn it over to the rest of the we do have some questions in the chat, but is it okay to ask one more question?
Yeah.
So with the both of you participated in, I believe it's called the Raven Rock Ramble.
Yeah.
What was that like for you guys? Tell us about the event, and then what did it mean to you both for participating in it?
So the Raven Rock Ramble, it's Michelle. Maybe Michelle can add some more, but it's not a race because we kept calling it a race, and it's nobody. I guess it's not times, but it's kind of like a tour to benefit UNC Kidney Center. So that's where the proceeds go. And we just love training for it. I mean, we trained for it together for probably two and a half months to go 31 miles. And we were together at least once a week, and it was awesome. And it was yet another thing that, I personally couldn't believe that I did. It was all on the road. It's a road race. I don't think either one of us had ever been on the road, actually. We'd either done the trail or the greenway. So it was just a new experience all around, having to learn ways around traffic and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. And we had a super awesome coach volunteer through Bridge to Sports, Steven. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he wrote out a whole schedule for us. And then we showed up and he was like, oh, y'all are better than, I was expecting. So we met up at least once a week to answer your question, Mary. Laura might have gone more, but I only had time for once a week. And we gradually added more and more miles to the trail to get up to the 32. And those hills were no joke, but we did the route entirely once a week before the race, and we did it. So that was
not only did we did it twice, basically.
Yeah. And it was great to cheer Lauren on because I've had a little bit more of experience on the bike than she had. So it was kind of to see the progress she's made. It was just exponential growth to see her crush those hills and gain endurance. It was really awesome. And we're Team Nemo. So
yeah, we call ourselves Team Nemo because if you watched the movie, he has a smaller right fin.
Lucky fin, yeah.
At Lucky Fin, and Michelle, it's her right side that's a little weaker, and it's my left. So we're like each other's like other half, I guess. So we call each other Team Nemo.
That's cute. Well, one of the signs of a great interview or great signs of a great interviewees is that you always want to learn more about them. But we're running low on time, but I want to thank you for the opportunity to interview you both. So thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
William, thanks for doing that. And Lauren and Michelle, outstanding. If I had to count the number of times I heard the word amazing and fun and challenge, I need more fingers. So it's really just incredible. And it makes me feel like I need to be outside being more active myself. So thanks for spurring me along. Again, just want to recap. Whenever we set these up for 30 minutes, I always kind of kick myself thinking, and this is a good thing, we probably need more time because you guys have great stories to share. And I think these are the kind of things that we need to spread the word about, not just from the standpoint of what you get to experience, but the fact that you get to pay it forward and help volunteer for others that are learning about it. I think that's a tremendous cycle, and that's something we probably don't talk about enough. And I just really can't applaud you enough for kind of having that continuum where it's you learned about it, you experienced it, you grew from it, and then you've now taught it to others. I think that's phenomenal. So thank you again for your time there. I did tell everyone that I would give you some quick background on the 360 Club when we first got together. I want to keep good on my word. It is a special group within BIIS Sports that is somewhat new. I know COVID kind of put everybody back about 1 year. So we're still kind of, it's an infant group and we're trying to grow it. And that's why we're holding these kind of events where we can talk more about the programs behind BIIS Sports. We can hopefully get others to learn more about ways they can get involved. And the 360 Club is simply one of them. You know, we like to make 1 and 1 equal 2 as much as we can. So it's very simple. Sorry guys, I've got kids in the background too, but you know, 360 Club is simply, it's a $30 donation per month, or it's an annual commitment of 360. And why we do that is because, and I'm glad both Lauren and Michelle talked about some of the expenses with these programs. You know, one thing BIIS Sports does and does well is makes their programs accessible to anybody that wants to sign up. We are not exclusionary because of anybody's ability to pay for programs. The participant fees on an annual basis are $150, and that's it. Now, if you think about the operational side of things, it's a different story, right? And so some of the programs that BIIS Sports offer can run upwards of $25,000 to operate. And the trikes and the different equipment that we use is expensive because it's specialized. So the 360 Club, the donations that come from that simply help make up that gap between participant fees and the expenses. So we really rely on it, and it really helps the organization in a big way. And if you think about $30 these days, I know it used to be a tank of gas, now it's a quarter tank of gas. Or maybe for me, it's a trip with my boys who are quite loud to Chick-fil-A. You know, I burned through $30 buying French fries and chicken sandwiches these days. So it's something that I hope people can find, because put in the right place, it goes a long way and makes a big impact on people's lives. And I hope you've seen just a glimmer of that today. So because Ashley can't do it, and I'm more than glad to do it, I'd love to invite you and ask you to consider joining the 360 Club, or just consider learning more about BIIS Sports and kind of get on this journey with us and understand more about the programs, the people, because I think you can see by today's session, the people are what make the programs, and that's why we do this. And we'd love to have you be a part of these events as we go forward. The plan, now that we're hopefully coming out of the virtual world to a degree, is to have more of these in person, so you can talk with Lauren, you can talk with Michelle, learn more about them beyond 15 minutes. But that's our goal. So we appreciate your time. My kid just gave me a pat on the back. I'm not sure if that means he needs me or if that means good job wrapping this up. But again,
I think he wants to join the 360 Club.
Yeah, you're on the hook. But listen, I know time is precious these days, and we really appreciate you guys joining for 30 minutes. Again, we would love to have you come to more of these. We'd love to have you bring a friend or several friends. But and also, we just want you to be a part of something great, and I really do think that's what BIIS Sports is all about. So with that, I think we will wrap, and I do look forward to seeing you again. Lauren, Michelle, William, thank you so much for your time today and all that you do to inspire us and others. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.